and welcome to this episode of Knit Pause with the Moon, recorded in March 2021 for the Pisces new moon. But you can listen to this at absolutely any time. I am Solène, your host, and together today we'll take a creative pause together and talk about the theme of dreaming and receiving creative energy. So as usual, we'll start with a few words about the seasons, the season that we're in, the moon, and then I'll share with you some reflection on how to use this in your creative life and in your knitting life. And then we'll end up with a few minutes of guided meditation to really tune in and receive some creative energy. So about the season that we're in, when I'm recording this, it's the end of winter and there is the spring equinox that happens next week. So these are really the very last days of winter that we are in right now in the northern hemisphere, and as nature starts awakening and emerging everywhere very slowly, we kind of have an opportunity to pause and enjoy this first sign of spring first, and also reflect on what we've been growing underneath during winter and during kind of this whole year. It's also a very strange time that we're in, and we are celebrating a weird anniversary, not very much celebrating, but the weird anniversary of our pandemic year. And so there's a lot of emotion and collective trauma that we are going through right now. So maybe you're feeling it these days, and it's completely normal if you're feeling blue looking back on your year. So I just wanted to share a bit about that, and about the new moon in itself. It's in Pisces, and it's the last new moon of the astrological year, because the astrological year starts with Aries season, after the equinox. And so the sign of Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and it has gathered all the information for all the previous signs going through the year. And so it is the wisest of all, and it has very, very deep wisdom, and kind of a wisdom that can't be contained into the limits of society and what kind of white society dictates us. Pisces explores so many different horizons. And it's a water sign, so it's highly adaptable, emotive, and highly creative. And it's often seen as dreamy and sometimes even detached from reality, which it kind of can be, but at the same time, behind the dreams hides true wisdom. So Pisces teaches us to pause and dream. It teaches us to learn to float in our own creative waters and to receive the creativity and the inspiration that is in and all around us. So that's kind of our idea for this podcast today. So I have three I call them creative invitations, because I like the idea of invitation, as you can take what you find inspiring and leave the rest. So 3 ideas and creative invitations on how to use this energy in your creative life. So the first one is to allow yourself to pause and receive the creative energy. So the most important thing here, I think, is to make space and time for your pause and to intentionally pause and rest, because winter is a season where we are naturally invited to take more pause and more restful time, but as humans we don't always connect to this rhythm of nature, and and our society doesn't connect always with us rhythm of nature, and so we tend to still go into go active mode during all of winter, and at the end of it we are completely exhausted. So it's completely normal if you're feeling tired right now. That's just because we've used up all our energy. And you can think of it as these animals who go into hibernation all winter long, and at the end of winter they have to come out because they've run out of food. And that's kind of how we can be feeling right now. We've used up all of our energy and we need to find a way to gather new energy. And but in order to gather and to feel this new creative energy, we kind of have to come back to a state of receptivity and to truly pause and rest for the energy to come back to us. So that's the idea of you have to kind of find a way to step out of the idea of being active all the time and find this true state of pause and rest in order for creativity, in order to find creativity and for creativity to find you. So if you're able, if you can try to make some more time this week to pause, to rest, find maybe a more meditative knitting project for you. You can do some extra meditation or relaxation time, or just listen to some music, like whatever works for you to really pause and relax in a deeper, more intentional way. And it's a moment where you can't really force anything to happen. It's more about letting things come and fall into place. So letting new ideas, new inspiration come to you, and maybe like you will get very clear and precise ideas these days, or maybe there are great chances that you won't get anything precise because Pisces is not a very precise sign, and it's maybe you'll just like let creativity come through you and feel creative in yourself, even if you don't create anything and don't produce anything, and feel like you are kind of a part of the vibrations of the universe and the creativity and inspiration that are all around you. And we'll do a meditation around this theme at the end of this podcast, so maybe it will give you some more clarity or some more inspiration around this theme. So the second invitation is express your emotions through knitting, because since it's a season where we are very much connected to our emotions and many of us are feeling very emotive right now, we kind of need places to express those emotions, and knitting is to me a very powerful way to do so, because when we knit, we put some parts of ourselves into each stitch that we knit. We put some of our emotions and what we're feeling in the moment when we are knitting them. And so if you've been feeling frustrations, fear, or grief, when you knit, you can truly put all of those emotions into material form, and it's a beautiful way to like acknowledge those feelings and emotions, acknowledge that they're there, and transform them, materialize them into something beautiful that you can gift to someone you love, that you can keep for yourself and wear as a reminder of your own strength, resilience, and a reminder of how much wiser maybe you are now. And so that's an idea if you are in need of some way to express your emotions, to just kind of do it in a more intentional way with your knitting. And my third invitation is to connect to your intuition and to your dreams. So connecting to your intuition is a practice of getting more in tune with yourself and of identifying what you love, what you want to do, what works for you. And connecting with your intuition can just be a very simple practice of taking the time to reflect. For example, after you've knitted a project or just before you start one, to just take a moment to think about what this project makes you feel, how unique it is to you, what makes it unique to you, and things like that. So just to like have a moment of reflection with each project to make it more intentional and make it more you. And it's a practice of like tuning in and listening to yourself, which isn't always easy. And one thing I personally like to do for connecting to my intuition is to journal. So I like to journal every day. I'll just write a few words, and it doesn't have to be much, but I just write like my emotional state of the day. I write my how I'm feeling creatively, if I'm feeling creative or not, and I also write like what excites me, what inspires me, and at the end of the day, like it's a really beautiful place to just dream and explore ideas without having any pressure of it having to become something. Like I sometimes won't even go back and read what I've written in there. Like it's just a place, kind of a place that is just for me, and that I can put dream and inspiration and whatever I'm feeling in. And it's so powerful to have this place to dream. And so I invite you to find yours if you don't have your place to dream. And like for me it's a journal, but it can really be anything. It can be a journal, and it can be in writing form, but whatever works for you. It can also be just like queuing your next projects and dreaming of what they will become. It can be having a conversation with someone. You can have someone in your life that you like to exchange creative ideas with and share your dreams with without them being like judgy of it. A place where you can, like a judgment-free place where you can just express whatever you're feeling and whatever you're dreaming. And yeah, and like community can be very powerful for that. And I just want to mention, if you're looking for a community to like explore all of those things with, and to and with a small group of knitters from all over the world that are creative as you and can truly support you in your creative expression and intuition. I have some spots left for the home spring retreat that we're starting in like just a week and a half. So if you're looking for that and want to do that with me and with an amazing group of knitters, you can still join us. I'll put the link in the description of this video, so if you want to check that out and join us, you are welcome, and I hope you will. And yeah, and that was my third invitation. And yeah, and so now I have prepared a meditation to open to receive more creative energy. So it's a moment of pause that we'll spend together. It will last 10 minutes top, and so make sure that you're in a comfortable place. If you need to like rearrange where you are sitting or anything, now is the good time to pause the recording and to start again, and I'll see you in a minute. So when you're ready for this moment of meditation, I invite you to turn inward and start by closing your eyes, if that feels comfortable for you. If not, you can simply keep your eyes open with a soft gaze. And take a moment to reconnect to yourself, to observe the rhythm of your breath going in and out. Your own natural rhythm. Observe your breath for what it is today. Connect to the sensations of your breath in your body in this moment. Connect also to the state of your emotions right now and observe them just as they are. Feelings, emotions. There is nothing to change right now. You are here entering this space of pause, a space that you are making just for you for the next few minutes. And feel how wide it is, this space of pause. Feel how it expands with each breath that you take, each moment that you spend here, relaxing, connecting, resting, and doing nothing, because there is nothing to do here but to pause. Take a moment to really feel this expansion. Feel how infinite this space of pause is. You can imagine it as a wide blue sky, bright and peaceful. Take a moment to imagine it, this beautiful wide blue sky of pause, of peace, of relaxation. And under this wide blue sky, take a moment to connect to the ground beneath your feet. Feel how it supports you, how strong it is. It is the same ground that has always supported you, that has always been there. The same ground that gathers us knitters in this virtual space wherever we are in the world. The same ground that supported and fed our ancestors. On the same earth, under the same moon. The same ground that connects you to all living beings on this earth. The animals, from the dogs and cats in our homes, to the sheep's growing wool in the fields, the wild animals of the forests, of the sea, the wild animals of the sky, of this wide blue sky. Feel this connection to the animal realm that you are a part of. Feel the vibration of nature awakening as you are awakening too in this slow moment of pause. Everything around you is pure power of creation. The first flowers breaking through the cold ground, the leaves growing in the trees, the birds building their nest and getting ready for the arrival of spring. Creation is everywhere, always happening in the constant changes and movements of nature. And you are a part of this constant change, this growth, this transformation. When you slow down, as you are doing now in this space of pause, you can tune back in to the very slow movements of the earth and nature all around. You can tune back in to your own creative power that is a part of that slow movement of change and growth. Feel this connection to nature, this creative connection because you are a creative being. You are a part of nature just as nature is a part of you. On this earth, always moving, slowly vibrating under this wide blue sky. Everything in you is creative. Everything in you is always growing. And you can tap into that connection, tap into that natural power of creation. Take a moment to feel yourself opening up to this soft creative vibration, opening up to receive the creative power of the earth, of the sky, of the universe. To let creativity, ideas and inspiration come to you and through you. Maybe one of them will stop here and give you some clarity. Maybe they will all just pass through and keep on moving from being to being. All connected. But trust that you will receive what you need. You will receive what you need in this space of pause. Feel this wholeness, the wholeness of this creativity that is in you and the rest of the world. Take a moment to just receive. Receive the inspiration and creativity all around. Allow it to sync up with your own vibration. And there's nothing to look for or to take here. It's just about allowing and receiving. When you're ready to come back, you can take some deep breath and let your breath slowly bring you back to your body. Feel the peace and quiet there. Feel the creative energy. And remember that you can always slow down, that you can always pause and receive this creative energy that is in and all around you. Take the time that you need, and when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes again. Thank you for sharing this moment of meditation with me. This concludes our episode together. I hope that you enjoyed it, and don't hesitate if you feel like sharing what inspired you or any thoughts that might have come up for you during this episode. Don't hesitate to share them in the comments. I always love reading about your experience with this podcast, and don't hesitate also to like, share with your friends, and thank you so much for watching. I wish you some very creative poses, and I'll see you back here on the next new moon, and also maybe hopefully in the upcoming home spring retreat if you want some more beautiful moments of creative pose together. The link is in the description if you want to check that out. Thank you and have a beautiful rest of your day.